Hello and welcome to episode number 8 of No Whining. Coming at you right now. Both of the wines that we're going to be tasting today are from the same region. As a matter of fact, from the exact same vineyard. So let's talk about that a little bit. The producer on both of these is Bodega Garzón. And if you look this up on Google, you'll just see this kind of beautiful, expansive campus with like the vineyards and the hillside in the background and the architecture itself. And there's like water features, just gorgeous stuff. I think this place has like cooking classes and everything. So it seems like a really fun place to visit. If indeed you find yourself in that part of the world, you may want to check it out. All right. The region on both these wines is Maldonado, Uruguay. And this is a maritime climate where the Atlantic breeze is really key to keeping the grapes cool and preserving acidity as they ripen. The latitude of this region puts it right between Mendoza and Patagonia in Argentina, Curico Valley in Chile. It's right in line with Cape Town in South Africa, as well as the Yarra Valley and Margaret River, in Australia. So there's that. Bodega Garzón's grapes are grown in rocky soils with exposed granite. And this first wine we're going to be checking out, this is a 2024 Reserva Albariño. And obviously that's the grape variety as well. This was fermented in stainless steel tanks and cement tanks, a combination of those. It was aged 3 to 6 months on the lees. So that is the background. Let's dip into this bad boy. Alrighty, I'm going to call this a pale yellow color. Let's try this on the schnoz. Always try it on the schnoz before the jaws. Don't rush it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's do this. Oh, that is like bright citrus, lemon, zest, big time. It's got a little bit, it's got quince in there. That's really, really nice on the nose. Got grass in there, some beeswax, which is really interesting, and just the hint of honeysuckle. Now let us try it on the jaws. The time has arrived. That's really refreshing, actually. Dry wine, it's probably medium minus on the body, medium plus on acidity, I would say. Alcohol, and you could kind of tell by the viscosity on the glass in the legs, it's not very high, probably around 13%. But it's a nice wine. Like, it's pretty straightforward. It's got high acidity. It's got a citrus finish. I am not as impressed with this, to be honest with you, as I was with the one from Ria Spicious that we tasted a couple episodes ago. I would like to see a bigger mouthfeel as well as a little bit more complexity. This is just really straightforward, pretty simple, and there's not as much depth as I think there was in the Albariño we tried that was from Spain. But again, this is a really nice wine, very drinkable, etc., etc. All right, let's get into wine number 2. This is a 2022 Reserva Tannat. This is a $20 bottle of wine, as was the wine we just finished tasting. Now, Tannat is a very interesting grape, and it's actually Uruguay's prize grape. It originated in France, but then settlers brought it to Uruguay in the 1800s. It is known for its incredibly high levels of tannin, incredibly high levels, which means it also has tremendously high levels of antioxidants. So if you need to sell yourself on the benefits of red wine to your health to justify your behavior, this grape makes that a little bit easier. All right, where do tannins come from? They come from grape seeds, stems, they come from grape skins, they come from oak barrels and casks. They're often described tannins as, if you're not as familiar with them, as being mouth drying, or they're astringent, or they're bitter. They can also be said to be grippy, right? And that would be with this sort of coarse texture in the mouth. Especially this would be the case when the grapes are harvested early or they are underripe. But Tannins can also contribute and kind of manifest themselves as this sort of soft and refined texture. And this depends largely upon many of the facets of the winemaking process itself. Tannins also soften over time with aging, which is one reason why when we drink a wine is very, very important and gonna make a big difference in the experience we have with the wine itself. Having elevated tannins is a really important component of a red wine's ability to age well. All right, and we want high levels of tannins along with high levels of alcohol, elevated acidity, intense fruit flavors. Those are all going to come together to make really, really age-worthy wines. Now let's talk for a second about decanting, because this is really important with a wine like this, with the intensity, just the robust character of it. You need to expose it to some oxygen to open it up a little bit so that you can catch all the different aromas and you can taste everything that it has to offer. I was thinking about this earlier today and an analogy came to mind. When you go on a trip and you arrive at the hotel and you get in your room, if you open up your suitcase and just kind of look at it there, what is it like? Just if you pack anything the way I do, everything is just kind of jammed in the suitcase and you can't really tell where the heck anything is at. And if you want to know where things are at, you need to open that up a little bit and you take out clothes and you arrange them, you hang them up in the closet, right? All the things, you know, your mom told you to do, right? And you want to kind of make sure that you've got all the pieces pulled out so that you can locate where things are at and you don't feel discombobulated or like it's just crammed in there and you can't locate anything. It's the same way really with wine, and that's why we decant it. When we expose it to oxygen through decanting, or in my case, I like to use this aerator that you've seen me with, it allows the wine to breathe, for all those pieces inside to kind of come out and show themselves really nicely to you. If you don't do that, especially with a big, bold wine like this, you can wind up with wine that's really tight and it's hard to distinguish the different flavors. You're not going to get as much from it. And so I would really encourage you, especially with your big red wines, things of that nature, make sure that you treat yourself right by treating the wine right and decant it. Expose it to some oxygen, open it up. That's what we're going to do right now. Let's give this Tannat a try. Lots of black fruit on this, like black cherry, black berry, black plum, just black. And by the way, because I forgot to do it earlier, say something about it, I'm going to call this a deep purple color, possibly deep ruby, but I'm going to say deep purple. It is incredibly opaque. Like you cannot see through this wine at all, which would be expected with the type of grape we were talking about, with all the tannins, everything else, likely to be very full-bodied. We wouldn't be able to see through it very well. Okay, let's go back to the nose and see what else we find. It's got some dark chocolate notes in there, walnut actually a little bit, which was quite nice. Let's see what else. Sweet tobacco. On the floral side, maybe a little bit of violet. And then there's a little something in the background. And again, I can't tell if this is just because the wine hasn't opened up yet, but like almost like cheese, which I'm not thrilled with. Again, it may just need to open up a little bit more, but let's try it on the jaws and see what we find there. Really big body on this, huge tannins, dry wine for sure. It's got the plum in there for sure, the cherry still. A little bit of leather is coming through, which I actually like quite a bit. I must say that I like this on the palate better than I did on the nose. I was scared when I tried it on the nose. I find this to be much better on the jaws. It's got decent complexity and length with that like plum and sort of chocolate finish to it. So I do like this, and I've never tried this grape before, so this is my first experience with it as well. I enjoyed it, and I would say that I probably, I might need to retaste these guys to choose a winner between them, so let's do that. You know what I'm finding? I'm going to go with the Tannat, and the reason is the Albariño, for some reason, I can like smell and really detect the alcohol in it, even though it doesn't have really high levels. So that makes me feel like it's a little bit out of balance. Whenever you notice one part of the wine being a little more dominating than the other characteristics of it, it may not be especially well balanced. Now, some wines, idiosyncratically, they're made to be that way on purpose, but I don't think that's the intention here. And so I'm going to give the win to the Tannat. This is the 2022 Reserva Tannat, and I thought this was really, really nice wine. Not incredible. Again, I would have liked more complexity and a little better length out of that as well. I would have liked the nose to be a little bit more appealing. But again, a solid wine, and for 20 bucks, that's really hard to beat. So I hope you enjoyed episode number 8, and we will see you in the next one.